Hello and welcome to Planet Smasher Games. I just drunk a cup of coffee that was probably too strong, and I've just had an idea for the wonderful one-page Peace Jam that the Non-Combat Discord server is running in combination with the one-page game jams. I've been thinking about Space Kits and the dexterity mechanics in Space Kits, and I've been thinking about how to I've been thinking about open sourcing it, actually, and publishing the system reference as a thing called Riot Dice. And so I was thinking over the last couple of weeks about what other things I could do with the basic dexterity mechanics of Space Kits. And the non-combat one-page Peace Jam got me thinking. And the obvious place I think that many people's brains go when it comes to a non-combat miniatures game is to think about sports, because that's a thing that's got like clear conflict in it, and that conflict is, non-deadly. Whether it's non-violent is arguable. Anyway, we are looking here at an 18-inch square board, and I have created two goals. Which I initially thought maybe should be 6 inches, but I think I'm going to go for 4-inch wide goals. Whoops. And we are going to have some teams. I've got a team of goblins here. They're on whatever they're on, 32mm bases. And because they're on big bases, I'm going to face them off against these goblins, but they're on little bases, which means smaller blocking ability. So I think I'm going to use 4 of those, and we'll see whether that works out. The hook of this game is going to be that the ball is a D12. So this is going to be a sort of football type affair. Let's just check I've got this 9 inches. The field is split into 2 halves. Each team has got a goal. Now the rules to this were written about 10 minutes ago as I was wandering around having a post-lunch walk. I spoke them into my notes app on my phone, and let's see how it works. So to play, you need some models each. I think 3 or 4 is about the right number. You need a D12 as the ball. You need some D6. These are going to be our movement dice. And you probably need a bunch more D6 to be the towers that they're going to stack up next to them. We might not need the tower stacking mechanic, but I think it will be fun. We've got a ton of scatter terrain, and we've got these 2 goals that are 4-inch wide, 1 in each half. Okay, so this is called the field. The playing area is called the field. We've arranged the scatter. We're going to place the ball in the middle of the field, and then each coach has half of the field as their halves. So this is the goblin half, this is the gremlin half. And then we are going to set up our models anywhere within 6 inches of their goal. I don't know how to pick who's the first player, so we'll go 1, 2, 3. It's these guys. That's a 6, so it's the yellow gobs that are going first. Within 6 inches of their goal. I'm not sure exactly how to measure that, so we'll go there. I should probably do alternating deployment. Okay, so I don't know how to measure. I'm going to make a note of that. Okay, so let's restart, and we'll do something different, because measuring from the goal is annoying. So instead, we'll say you can deploy on anywhere on your half, but you've got to be more than 4 inches from the ball. So these guys got to deploy. These guys are going to have to deploy the first model. So they will deploy a goblin 4 inches from the board, from the ball. Sorry, these guys will do the same. Okay, so we're set up. The way that the game works is it's basically player alternation, and when it's your turn to activate a model, you just pick any of your models to activate. And after they activate, they stack a dice, and if the tower falls, they fall over and have to be helped up by a friend. It's going to be, we'll say 3 goals to win for now, and see how long that takes. Okay, so these guys are playing first. When you activate, you roll the dice into the playing area to move, and you move towards the dice that many that many inches. If you touch the ball, you can kick the ball. So I think I'm going to go like that. Okay, so we know that the ball is about 4 and a bit inches away, so it's going to scoot towards the ball, pick it up like that. Now I can flick, when I kick the ball, I flick it with my finger, and if it lands, if it rests in contact with a friendly orc, I can activate that one, or maybe I have to activate that one. Otherwise I can flick it and then move towards the dice. Now, and interestingly, these dice are in the way, so I could flick it in this direction, but the dice would end up being in the way. And I think if it touches another, like an enemy model, then they get to activate. So let's try kicking it this way, see how we go. Okay, so I've sort of pushed it rather than rolling it. That wasn't what I expected. So I've moved the ball away, I'm not touching it, no one can kick it. I'm going to move towards this 6 over here. And I'm going to bump into this guy now, therefore I have to stop. I think the rule is going to be, whilst you're in contact with an enemy, you can't kick. So that would be like a marking mechanism. It's also just emergently true that it's more annoying to move, because you'd have to roll a dice over there to move away before you could then move around. So maybe marking doesn't even need any rules because it's kind of emergent. And then I could move away towards that dice, but I think I'm not going to. So I'm going to say that you don't have to resolve dice, which is slightly different to Space Kits. Perhaps at any point in your movement you can stop, and if you stop you discard the rest of your dice. You can't like pick and choose, you've got to move them. Okay, so he didn't manage to get the ball to another guy, so now it's this player's turn. So they are going to choose, after activating, this person gets a dice. This dice tower mechanic might not be needed, it might be fun enough without that. But let's have a go. So we're going to roll over here. So I want to move 3 inches towards that dice first. And you have to move the full 3 inches. Maybe you have to move the full 3 inches. Maybe you don't have to move. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Okay, so then we're going to go 4 inches towards this dice. And if I measure it like that, then I can scoot into contact with the ball. Okay, so let's try kicking it. I can't make a strike on goal here, but I could try and get it sideways. Oh man, this thing is more difficult to roll than I expected. Do you know what? I'm going to try a D20. Let's swap it for a D20 and see if the D20 is more rolly. Okay, so I want to flick it. No, that's still just squudged. I'm not going to be able to resolve that dice because it will bump in. Play passes to this guy. He gets a tower dice, even though I'm not sure that we need that. Do you know what? I'm just going to assume that we don't need the tower dice for now. I think that might be one mechanic too many. So this guy here, I'd like to be able to move that way and then make a shot on goal. So I want to kind of move to here and kick the ball like that. So we'll say I can roll with 2 hands. Oof. Okay. So 3 inches towards that doesn't quite get me in contact. 2 inches towards that one doesn't quite get me in contact. So we'll move back towards that one. So we just did a little dance around. So we'll go with this guy. Okay, that looks pretty good. So 2 and bump into the dice, 5 and bump into the ball, and then I want to kick it on goal. All right, here we go. The moment of truth. Can I score a goal? No! And then I'll move towards this 3 a little bit. Okay, so now it's these guys. Well, this guy at the back Better try and get the ball. Wasn't very good. Oops. I'll discard the rest. This guy is going to try and get out from under. So he can move 5 towards that dice, bump into it and discard it. He can move 4 towards that dice, bump into it and discard it. And 6 towards that dice, bump into and discard. This is quite hard. This is quite hard to do. That dice has fallen off the board, so I don't think it counts. Can this guy scoot sufficiently to bump into the dice? No, to bump into the ball? No, I don't think he can. So he will scoot forward and get in this guy's way. Well, so far, the move mechanics are funny and fun, but the ball is slightly irritating because it's quite difficult to get hold of, and it's not actually that fun to try and move towards things. But I can move 1 and then 1 with those two, and then I can move 1 like that. So is the problem that we don't have enough dice? Is the problem that I'm rolling all the dice together? What if I rolled the dice 1 at a time? That would maybe allow me to be a bit more sophisticated. So if you can roll the dice all together or 1 at a time, let's see what happens then. Okay, so it's going to be these guys go, and he's going to roll the dice 1 at a time. I think the dice going out of play is going to have to be all right, because otherwise it's difficult to get the ball if it's off the edge of the table. So I'm going to roll 1 over here, which is landed there, and then I'm going to need another one over here, and another one over there. Okay, so the 6 is good. The 6 lets me move in contact with the ball. And then I'm going to kick the ball a little bit like that. And then I'm going to move 3 inches towards it like that. And then I'm going to kick it like this. Oh! Alright, that's a bit more interesting. It's out of the goal area, but it is in the hands of the enemy. So this guy's going to move. Okay, so now we're rolling dice 1 at a time. So the first move, try and get like that. That's enough to get the kick. So we'll try and kick it to that guy. But if we miss, we're going to want to go, oops, we're going to want to go in this direction. Okay, so we can move 5 towards that, bump in, kick it to this one. Oh, it touched. Okay, so that activation ends, and this activation starts. He wants to move away from the ball a little bit, move around. Oh, that's not quite right. Okay, this may not work. So we need to move 1 inch towards there, 2 inches towards there. And if I move 5 inches towards there, I'm going to walk around the ball. So I think I will end my activation there. Pass play over to these guys. So clearly this guy wants to run towards the ball and boot it up the field. That's not good enough. It's not quite good enough. Oh man, I fluffed that. No, maybe I didn't fluff it. So I can move 5 inches towards this one, which will bump onto that terrain. No, I'm just going to bump into the terrain twice. Sad times. Okay, so we pass over. So this guy wants to move a little bit like this, and then like this, and then over here like this. Okay, so we can move the 6 inches to there and bump into it. Then we'll kick it over here, and then so we've moved that 6 move dice, and then we're going to move towards this 4 dice, which gets us to there, and then this ought to be a goal! Goal! All right, so we finally scored, and then we can clear up the field. Everybody takes their models off. The ball, which is the d20, goes back in the middle, and then I think everybody just sets up again. The person who just scored, do they become the first player, or do they pass first player to the person who... Yeah, I think it's the person who just got scored against. So maybe we don't put it in the middle, actually. So maybe we set up the players again in their half. This guy's the first player, so he has to set up the first. Do they have to be 4 inches from other orcs? Maybe not. And then you have to give someone the ball. Is that interesting? That might be interesting. So we're going to give this person the ball. Okay, so now we can start again. So this is the next play, and it's this guy to go first, or these guys to go first. And he will, of course... Will he? Will he, of course? I don't know what he'll do, actually. Maybe he'll try dribbling. So I think I'm going to try kicking the ball forward, and then I want to move forward as well. So that would probably kick it there, move towards it, and then over here, and then over here. Okay? So I'm going to kick the ball forward, and then I'm going to move 4 to there. I can kick it again because I'm in contact, so I will pass it to this guy. It doesn't quite get there, and he's not quite got enough space to move around, so I think he will end his activation there. So now it's the little guy's go. So this guy will obviously have a little try at squeezing in here. That's probably not going to be good enough. So we'll go 1 towards that dice. That's not terrible, actually. And then, no, I think he's going to get caught there. And he'll end his activation. So we'll try a different attack. This chap's going to activate. It's going to try and move this way. That'll be enough to get a kick off. And then I'll have another one over here just in case. So yeah, we'll use that 5 to move into contact. And we'll kick the ball this way. Oh man. And then we'll move the next 5 to there. We'll try and get it in contact with this guy. Ah! Too difficult. He could move this one. He's not going to. This guy is going to try and get into the backfield. Okay. So we'll move 5 inches towards this 5 here. Do I have to move the hole? I don't think I have to move the hole. Let's have a look. It's annoying enough without having to move the whole distance. So then we would move 6 inches through there towards that 6. And then, sure, we'll move towards the 4. So we're sitting right in the goal. Then it's this chap's turn. He's going to move backwards a little bit. That's good. So he'll be able to move in, kick it that way. So he'll move this way a little bit. Okay, so we'll go like that. Kick it this way. Move 1 inch towards that one. And then, no, I think he'll not resolve that one. Okay, so the ball is perilously in this half. So we want to activate this guy, move like that, or like that, or like that. One of those is going to be right. So the 6 inches towards there is all right. He's going to kick it to there. And then not resolve these. There's less movement than I was expecting here. It's not, the ball isn't moving backwards and forwards as I quite would like it. It might be that there's too much scatter terrain. It might be that the instinct that I had was that long shooting was going to be a bit of a problem. But that might not actually be the case. So let's take a pause here, and I'm going to make the area a bit more open. Kind of want to do this. So there's no clear straight goal run. Okay, so 2 goals, 3 bits of scatter terrain. Yeah, so let's say that you put the ball anywhere on the centre line. These guys do because it's their play. They put the first model down and it has to be 4 inches away from the ball. They'll do the same. Put one there, put one there, put one there, there, and 4 inches from the ball or an enemy model. Okay, so it's these guys go. They are going to activate this guy. So we'll try and get in that direction. Yep. And then we can try and kick on goal. And if we miss, we'll want to head into this direction. So that's cool. So they can push 6 towards this. And then we'll go straight for a shoot on goal. Oh, this is quite tricky. Oh, not quite. Close. So we'll move 4 inches towards there, and then 4 inches towards there. One of the problems is that when you move into the ball, it's on the wrong side of you, and that's annoying. So I wonder if when you touch the ball, you can just reposition it anywhere. That would make the game slightly less annoying. So let's try that rule. So we want to go a little bit this way towards the ball, that's good enough, and then we want to head off in this direction once we've kicked it. Okay, so we're going to resolve this. So I move into contact, now I'm allowed to make a kick, which allows me to pick up the ball, let's say, and put it wherever I like. So I could kick it this way, nice, and then move 3 inches towards that dice, and then 6 inches towards that dice. Bump into it. Okay, didn't pass it to anyone, so didn't get another activation. This guy doesn't really want to come out the goal. This guy will try and get around, so he's going to head off in this direction. 3 inches, not quite enough, but we'll head off in that direction, and then like that. So we'll go 3 inches to there. 3 inches to there. Oh, nice. And then 5 inches to there. Good shot. So I can pick up the ball and put it anywhere I like. I'm going to put it there. And we've got a nice clear shot on goal. So we should, theoretically, should be able to do this. Yeah! Okay, so that was a goal. Goal! All right. Okay, with those tweaks, that actually feels like a game worth playing. I don't think it's quite right yet, but it feels like there's a loop there that is enjoyable. I'm going to go and write this up. Shouldn't take very long. It's only a 1-page game. This is a cool design challenge. I like it. And I am looking forward to seeing the other entries into the 1-page Peace Jam. I will see you in the Non-Combat Discord, where I'll post this up as soon as I've got a rough draft. If you're interested in trying out this game, there are links in the video description to both the thread on the Non-Combat Discord for the game, and you can also find it in the Planet Smasher Games Discord. If you are at all interested in getting involved in the 1-page Peace Jam, then I solidly recommend you do. This is a great opportunity to have a little go at writing a small scope miniature game. And if you're interested in using dice dexterity mechanics, then I will also be happy to share with you the early version of the Riot Dice system reference document, because I'm quite excited by the Riot Dice mechanics, and I want to offer them to the community so that other people can hack on top of them, and we can create some silly dexterity-based miniature games. All right. Thanks so much for sticking around and watching this impromptu video. I haven't come up with a name for this game yet. I think it's either going to be called Pork Ball or maybe Goblin Balls. We'll workshop those. All right, until next time, I'll catch you later. Bye-bye.